All right, so as Victor had welcomed you guys to our live webinar. Those of you who don't know me, my name is Henry Chang. I'm actually the chief engineer of the foundation. My responsibilities include overseeing the overall technical aspects of the foundation. So just overseeing all of that, all the work that goes on and so forth with the foundation. So as Victor was mentioning today, it's kind of a unique webinar. It was something during the planning stages that we were looking at and discussing. You know, typically we'll pick a topic to do for this webinar, and then from there, you know, develop the presentation for that particular topic. But one of the discussions that was brought up is like, hey, why don't we have maybe a webinar kind of maybe addressing some of the different questions that we get from you folks out there. Because, you know, the question that somebody may have, it may apply to some of you. You know, some of you may be dealing with some of those situations and things like that. So this is kind of a, you know, inaugural try at this, see how it works. You know, obviously, when you look at the number of questions we get, I mean, we get questions every single day from members and non-members about things that they're dealing with. You know, so literally we could have hundreds of questions there, but we decided just to kind of pick like 10 of some of the 10 technical questions that have been brought up, and just hopefully be able to answer some of those questions and hopefully educate you, maybe help you out. You might be dealing with some of these questions, some of these issues that are part of the question, and hopefully we can help you out with that. As Victor was mentioning, I'm hoping that we have some time at the end to, you know, if there are some additional questions that you folks have, you know, you can bring it up and hopefully either we can answer it or in some way, shape, or form be able to give you information on that. Okay. Well, let's see what happens. Again, if this works out well and if you folks think, hey, this is valuable, we could do another FAQ session next year and maybe, you know, use the answer some of the other questions we've been getting coming in and so forth. Okay. So let's go ahead and just get started. Question number one, again, we just picked some of the questions that came in. One of the interesting questions that came in is are enclosures required for backflow prevention assemblies? And typically the answer is no. I mean, you look around across the country, you know, are they required? Typically no, but there may be some administrative authorities depending on the situation, depending on the case by case, that may require some enclosures depending on, you know, what's going on around that particular assembly. So in regards to just enclosures, just realize, you know, there are standards out there for the enclosures. For example, there's a ASSE, American Society of Sanitary Engineering. They actually publish a standard for enclosures. Their standard is ASSE standard number 1060, which is for enclosures. And typically what you'll see in regards to enclosures includes the types of enclosures that can be applied for protecting the backflow prevention assembly. Typically, you will see these enclosures be rated or categorized differently. For example, there may be enclosures that are for freeze protection. Those are the ones that if you feel that, hey, the assembly's outdoors, exposed piping, concerned that in the wintertime, the water in the assembly or in the pipes may freeze, they do have enclosures that protect from freezing. Now, typically, when we look at the freeze protection enclosures, they usually will have a heat source. So typically, you'll see some kind of heater system built into that enclosure. So for extreme cold weather conditions, you don't want pipes, the water in the pipes freezing because they could crack, split the pipe, split the body of the assembly. So you want to protect against that. So you may see those kinds of enclosures. So typically, if you require that kind of stuff, you usually not only have the water line coming in, but you usually have some electrical hookup to hook up to the heating source, so usually the heater and so forth. So that's one type of enclosures out there. Another one that you may hear about is what they term a freeze retardant enclosure. This is one that doesn't have a heat source, but may have protection from, I'll say an occasional cold day, cold climate type of thing. Those typically do have insulation in them. They won't have a heat source, but they'll have insulation in them. So there is a level of protection for that. Sometimes you'll see some of the enclosures not only come in a box, but sometimes you'll see like the bags that are insulated bags that are part of those kinds of enclosures. So you see that kind of stuff. And a third category is what they call a non-freeze, or I'll say vandalism protection. So those typically you see like cages that are put around the assembly. These are to protect from things like vandalism. One of the common problems out there in the industry is the people are stealing these backflow prevention assemblies for the scrap metal value of things. So there are times where a cage is needed around the assembly to prevent those kinds of situations. So just keep that in mind. Again, it's up to the administrative authority. Typically, enclosures are not required as part of the assemblies, but depending on the situation, some administrative authorities may say, hey, either we highly recommend or sometimes may require because of the potential of freezing, freeze damage, things like that in regards to the enclosure. Okay, so hopefully that answers that one question about enclosures.